Hello, everybody. Check it out. I'm in the house like carpet. No, it's a new Isaac patch that I'm gonna read to you. Give my thoughts. It seems really cool. I read a little bit of it. Some nerfs, some buffs. Yeah, it seems very cool though. Good evening or afternoon. It is I, Tyrone. A little light reading while you're sitting on the toilet this afternoon. Alex was on there for a while today. Too much spicy Mexican, I guess. Think that going from version 1.9.7.10 to version 1.9.7.11 be a very small incremental change, like, hey, we fixed being able to drop bombs while typing in online chat, you're welcome. But no, the Isaac team has been working tirelessly to bring you the following improvements. Features balance changes. Adjusted the behavior of Call of Duty worms staying hidden for long periods of time. Adjusted the behavior of Kennedy. I think those are the little ghosts that move rocks. They'll only use their rock grabbing action if they are on screen with the player. So I guess in big rooms they won't grab off-screen rocks. That's interesting. Because I'm thinking of that 2x3 L-shaped room where they come in with a rock at like super fast speed. So that should make them more manageable. Adjusted Blood Cultist. I think those are those things with the eyes that move around in the alt path. I forget what the third floor is called. Mausoleum, I think. They will not fire their blood attack from off screen. That's nice. Lowered the tier height of Red Champion Mega Fatty's puke attack so that it doesn't always fly over Isaac's head. That I don't really have any strong opinions about. I don't feel like Mega Fatty is too hard or too easy. Siren will no longer charm Isaac's heart or Lilith's incubus. Oh, I didn't know that she could charm Lilith's incubus. That's so bad. Also, Isaac's heart. I think you might just have to take damage. I've never ran into that. The Amnesia Horse Pill will now unidentify all previously identified pills. I don't know how that would affect PhD. I'd assume if you have PhD, everything would stay identified. Tane and Maggie's bleeding hearts now provide half the charge of a regular heart container when used with Sharp Plug. I don't know if I like that change too much. I feel like most of the fun on Tane and Maggie is, the interactions like that, but it's probably fine. I will immediately forget this and then die to it next time I play Tan Maggie, though. So that'll be fun. Tan Blue Baby will now swap poops and keys when using a bombs or keys pill. Huh? What? Would that just give you a guaranteed 8 keys then? Because you can only hold 8 poops. I'm imagining like some sort of poop key, which doesn't make any sense. That's probably how it works. Added a 1% chance for Wheel of Fortune to spawn a crane game. It doesn't say if you have to have crane game unlocked. So that might be a way of getting crane game before you get all the Tay and Samson unlocks. That's interesting. Gave Punching Bag back his ability to block shots. Oh, that's a huge buff. Punching Bag is already really good. Remove Glowing Hourglass and Book of Shadows from the Tan Lost pool. So you might have seen me tweet it out that it's so Jover. That makes Tan Lost so much harder. Because if you lose Holy Card, well, you could probably still do Blank Card, Holy Card. And then Book of Shadows. Book of Shadows is just nice if you want to like get out of the curse room or whatever. It has some utility with like bosses and stuff. It's good for Delirium. But yeah, it'll just make Tan Lost even harder. Using Meat Cleaver on an Angel will now award only 1 key piece. Oh my gosh. I didn't know that used to be a thing, so you could get 2 key pieces. It's kind of funny. Delirious has returned to a fixed 12 charge item. Bosses have had their health and damage overhauled. They will now take 1 damage per hit and 5 damage from explosions. Spikes, fire, and red poop do no damage to them. Their health will deteriorate steadily, and their color will turn more gray until they reach 1 health. Delirium, this one is like the one that made me want to make this video, because this is an insanely good change people have been begging for literal years. Delirium's mom foot is no longer sped up when Delirium gets enraged. A minimum delay of 1 second has been added between transforming and the stomp attack. While in Mom's foot form, Delirium cannot fire additional projectiles. These same behaviors also apply to Satan's foot. That's insanely huge. Now the question is, will that still apply to the other telefragging options Delirium has? Because he can do the foot from Daddy Longlegs. I don't know if that's still sped up or not. I think there's other bosses that teleport around. There's like Lilhorn. Anyways, replace Mars' shield bubble with iframes, which will still allow free entrance into curse rooms, but will not allow free plays to Devil Beggars and Blood Dono machines. Impact from Mars Dash no longer creates fissures that destroy rocks. It instead creates a ring of fire that applies the burn status effect. I don't care what you say, Edmund, I'm still not taking Mars. Jar of Wisps has returned to a 12 charge item. I mean, it does seem like this is just a nerf. It has way less utility now. I didn't know you could play Blood Dono machines for free, though. That's funny. Well, I guess not anymore. Jar of Wisps has returned to a 12 charge item. Its first use will grant 2 wisps, and every wisp spawn has a high chance to be of a special variety. Maybe slightly more takeable now. Pausing the game with Ghost Crown will not pause the item rotation. It will instead give the rotation a burst of speed. That's basically Edmund saying get good. Adjusted the proc chance of several Abyss Locusts that were too powerful. Aw, don't nerf my boy. Knockback from Farting Locust has been increased. Okay. Adjusted the stat boost from Star of Bethlehem to match Hallowed Ground. I don't know if that's a buff or a nerf, but it's probably, who cares. Wisp spawn from the Bean and Kidney Bean will now expire when changing rooms. That seems fine, I guess. Completing a secret room with a greed fight will now allow access to adjacent challenge rooms. Did it not do that before? I guess it must not have done that. Added enemy spawn indicators. This is huge for boss rush, challenge rooms, Great Gideon, and greed mode. Yes. So that means no more losing Tainted Lost Holy Card to that one wave where there's like 4 enemies, 1 space from the bottom, because I always try to dodge on the bottom. It's safer technically to be in the middle, but then you're surrounded on all sides. Anyways, golden keys and bombs can now be spent at the Keymaster and Bomb Bung to guarantee a item drop. This one is huge. It's kind of more rigging and also less rigging because you get the guaranteed item, so it's a guaranteed pedestal, but also you kind of have to remember to blow up everything first if you have a golden bomb and use all the golden keys. But I really like this change. I think that's gonna be very nice. Item charging with battery bomb while holding multiple actives will now prioritize filling up each item before overcharging. I don't know how much I like that change. I mean, you could have School Bag and have like a D6 and a, I don't know, Bob's Bomb or something. Bob's Rotten Head. And then it starts overcharging the Bob's Rotten Head before the D6. It's a little weird, but it's probably fine. Pause, the active item now synergizes with Black Powder, allowing circles to be drawn while a room is paused. I didn't know that didn't work. That seems nice, though. Added a very low chance for most bosses to drop a thematic item on death. So I know Plum drops Plum Flute. I wonder what else it would be. Maybe Bloat would drop, like, the hard item, the less than 3 or something. I don't know. I guess I'll have to play to see what that means. Increase the range of Dr. Fetus with number 1 in Pluto. Yeah, Dr. Fetus does still kind of feel like the lowest quality 4 item. To me anyways. I mean, Epic Fetus is just way better. But that might make it a little more playable if the range downs don't apply as much. But it's not going to apply to like regular range downs, so I don't know, interesting. Ludovico technique now grants a 0.2 shot speed increase. That makes it so much better. It's going to be so much easier to control. If the Mega Satan door has been opened using Forget Me Now and restarting the floor, we'll keep the door opened. That's nice. I was going to say I assume it also happens with the dice room, but I don't think you can get dice rooms on the chest or dark room. Increase the rarity of D20 in the greed shop. That's fair, I guess. I guess you can still rig with it, but now it's less of a, every run you're likely to see it. But if you do enough rolls, you'll probably still find it. If you're super big D20 fan. Add in an options and options.ini to disable the Ascend voiceover. No. Well, I've never hidden that. Fully rerolling a character with D4, D100, dice room, missing number, etc. will no longer reroll the starting passive items if they have unlocked them. Using a stars card will also not consume starting passives. Starting active items can be rerolled. The items that will not be rerolled are Luckfoot, Horror Babylon, Dead Bird, Bloody Lust, Anemic, Holy Mantle, Incubus, and Cambion Conception. Bethany, Book of Virtues. That's kind of crazy to me that Incubus could be re-rolled, because then you would just have no damage. Using Clicker to change characters now provides that character's intrinsic passive items. These items are lost when changing characters again. Reduce the chance of Clicker removing the most recently acquired item to 50%. Added various new sound effects. That seems like a buff to Clicker that it really needed. It's still kind of unusable when you're going for Dead God because, it messes up unlocks, but you could fight Delirium, Glowing Hourglass, Clicker into another character that doesn't have Delirium, and then fight Delirium again. Anyways, daily runs. Using Meat Cleaver during daily runs will cause each resulting split monster to give half its normal score. Interesting. Frozen enemies will count as being killed and will award score in daily runs. Oh, that's a huge buff to Death's List. I'm the number 1 Death's List fan. And I think if you froze an enemy, it wouldn't count as dying, so you would lose Death's List for the room, which is pretty impactful. That's actually like a huge indirect buff to Death's List. It makes freeze items a lot better too. Anyways, frozen enemies will count as being killed. Killing Uriel and Gabriel during a daily run will now only award score the first time each is killed. Alright, I don't care about scores, so I don't really care too much about that. Stage bonus in daily runs has been modified to accommodate different end goals. Stage bonus is fixed for each stage. XL stages now award the stage bonus for both floors. Using a Forget Me Now will not award additional stage bonus. Using a Forget Me Now during a daily run will now award half the exploration bonus during the repeated floor. Any additional replayed floors will not grant any exploration bonus. That would only really affect you if you like Diplopia to Forget Me Now, I guess. Fixed an issue where using Forget Me Now on the final floor of a daily run would result in an incorrect time on the score summary. Fixed an issue where quitting a practice daily would reset the daily win streak. Exploration bonuses from red rooms opened with red key, crystal key, soul of Cain, and the moon is capped at 2,000 points, after which they award no exploration bonus. Added Alt Path, Home, and Delirium to the daily rotation. The new schedule is Monday Mother, Tuesday Tanids, Wednesday Delirium, Thursday Home, Friday Hard Mode, Saturday Grab Bag, Sunday Mega Stand. That's gonna make dailies both harder, but also more fun because you can actually play late game. So I like that change. Bug fixes. Fixed an issue where Glowing Hourglass was not expending charges correctly in some scenarios. I kind of remember that. It's a little buggy of an item, but I guess now it's not as buggy. Fix an issue where Giganti would apply to enemy farts. That's the most Isaac line I've ever seen. Fix an issue with Jacob and Esau classic controls that would cause cards and active items to be used together. Fix an issue where dashing items were not properly stopping when attacking Mega Stan head-on. Fix an issue where R-Key could be used while picking up an active item. Oh no. I couldn't do the glitch anyways, but that is sad for the people that learned that. Fixed an issue where Wall Creep and Blind Creep would infinitely devolve into each other. I think that's those enemies that go along the wall and then they shoot the little, like, blood creep. Or they shoot at you from the wall. And they're normally over a pit or something. Fixed an issue where using Genesis after a completed Ultra Greed fight would completely reset the floor. Who tested that? Who would even find that? They could have left that one on in the game forever. I don't think anyone would have ever noticed, except for like the one person that found it. Fixed several issues which allowed the Megaton Wisp to exceed their cap. Fixed an issue where Lemegaton item effects were retained after using Genesis. Fixed an issue where mapping items granted by Lemegaton would not activate until entering the next floor. Interesting. Fixed an issue where Shrunken Champion enemies could still damage Isaac when killed. Oh no! Good thing I never trust God's flesh, although I guess now you can trust it slightly more. Fixed an issue where Tainted Eve would not refund the appropriate amount of health if rotten hearts were turned into clots. That's nice. Fixed an issue where leaving the room while a crane game was paying out could result in the item dropping but the machine not advancing. Interesting. Fixed an issue where tainted characters would not receive charges to their eternal item from Battery Bomb unless they were holding another active item. I think that means pocket items, eternal item. Fix an issue where taking too many of a single pill type could prevent the run from being exited and continued. That's a weird bug, but it probably would have applied to me at some point, considering how much I like to rig. Fix an issue where Vanishing Twin could spawn an item pedestal on the same tile as the trapdoor. Oh, that's the grapefruit bug. I was literally just watching Grapefruit play, and it was, I forget if it was the fan edit or the official edit, but it spawned, and then there was a lost soul here, and then a lost soul like at the door, and then there was a item here, or not lost soul. It was like Mr. Dolly, but it was retextured because of a mod he had, I think. But yeah, and then the one by the door didn't work, and the one that was above the item pedestal, it was like next to the mausoleum door that requires health. Anyways, that won't happen anymore, which is nice. Fix an issue where Deadbird could persist between rooms if the player had only soul hearts. I don't know if that necessarily had to be fixed. It's already such a weak item. Fix an issue where monsters along would fire arcing shots from Ipecac and Haemalacria directly at Isaac's feet. Monstros Ipecac is an insta-kill recipe. Fix a soft lock that could occur when using Eraser on Dogma. Fix an exploit with the Bloats hitbox that allowed players to safely stand on top of him. No! Well, I never used that anyways. Fixed a soft lock that would occur when using Data Miner to reroll Dad's Note. Fixed an issue where Echo Chamber stored effects were lost when exiting and resuming a run. That's nice. Fixed an audible skip when looping the Mother fight, Isaac's fight, and Devil Deal music. Actually, this is kind of a nerf. Because if you knew about that, then you could just get a Tears Down and just exit and continue, and the Tears Down is gone. Instead of having to eat 3 Tears Downs. Fixed a desync with Plum Flute and Book of Virtues. Fixed an issue where jumping into the Mother fight played a teleport sound effect. Fixed an issue where status effects were double applied in some cases when entering a new room. Fixed an issue where players could get golden trinkets from champion monsters before they were unlocked. Fixed an issue where bombs could be dropped when typing in online chat. Oh, that is one of the things that they fixed. They set up there that they were changing that. That's interesting. Fixed an issue where a little portal could spawn directly in front of doorways. Fixed some issues with found souls and plot familiar positioning when teleporting between rooms. Fixed an issue where found soul was not able to get and lose Abyss Locus. Oh, it was able. Fixed an issue where Epiphora was not resetting when changing firing direction. That's a nerf, but it's one I stand by because Epiphora is already a pretty great item. And I don't think I ever found that issue. Fixed another instance where the D4 could change the pool ID of items, allowing them to be rerolled into a specific pool. Really? That was an issue? I thought that's how it was supposed to work. That's kind of a major buff and kind of a major nerf. Because it used to be, if you saw Cursed Eye or whatever, you'd pick it up and then you'd re-roll it as many times as you could. But now it's like, you just want any item, so if you get like a crappy boss item, you just take it. Like if you get Pageant Boy or Box or whatever. Although you do just kind of take those anyways. Fixed the issue where Mama Mega and flat file effects could persist into deathmatch. Fixed a crash when using Clicker, Gold Trinkets, and Jacob Esau. Fixed a crash where Milk was higher priority than Incubus. Yeah, that would be annoying. Fixed incorrect challenge names displaying when creating an online game. Selected challenge name now appears in lobby list details. Fixed an issue where the number of points could be exceeded and turned into followers for Tainted Laz. Fixed an issue where the chance for glitter bombs to drop a consumable is reset when exiting and continuing a run. Fixed an issue where Glitch Crown removed items from pools when encountering story items. Fixed several crashes that could occur with the C-section and Spirit Cord combo. Removed Urn of Souls from Metronome payouts. That would be so bad. Because you wouldn't have any souls, so it would just do nothing. Perfection progress is no longer interrupted by Lost Soul. Strawman or Soul of the Forgotten taking damage. That's very nice. Guppy's Eye now correctly updates the contents of chess when the D1 is used. Fix an issue where kills from a Jello Whip would not give Jar of Flies a fly. Fixed an issue where the Blue Womb Shop was not an appropriate variant when playing Tankkeeper. Adjusted Mega Stands face 2 fire attacks, making their visual lineup more closely to their hitbox. That seems nice. Fix frozen enemies not properly triggering the on-kill effects of Charm of the Vampire, Lusty Blood, Toxic Shock, Jar of Flies, Samson's Lock, Eve's Birdfoot, Batwing, Sigil, Baphomet, Vasculitis, Deathless. Yeah, Deathless, I knew it. Berserk, Red Stew, 4.5 volt, and jumper cables. Thanks to everyone who pointed out issues and made suggestions. XOXO. And there's Edmund with the Game Maker t-shirt. I don't know if that's Game Maker. Kind of looks like those the star pieces from Paper Mario, but if it was white instead of yellow. Look at that soulful look. That's my goat right there. Oh, this was Tyrone making this. X.com. Whenever I see that. That's not what it's called. I don't know what a codworm is. That's gotta be the pins. Kinetti. I guess you can tell I don't watch the credits enough, because I think they are in the credits. And there's a bestiary. The Amnesia of Horsepill thing seems like... Whoops, I clicked out of the thing. Whoopsie. The Binding of Music. Where was I? Oh yeah. So that's the patch notes. What are my overall thoughts? It's pretty good. A lot of good changes. The D20 nerf in green mode is kind of sad, but it's not too big a deal. The Tainted Lost nerfs are gonna suck a lot. So that's not great for me. Considering I still have 2 more dead gods to go for. But, you know, it'll mean more chance of other items, right? You know, more synth oils, more growth hormones, more magic mushes. But yeah, seems like overall pretty good changes. I like there's a lot of bug fixes, and I like that Death's List will now work with frozen items. That seems like it's gonna be a huge buff to one of my favorite items, so. Also, the glitch crown thing. I mean, it kind of feels like a lot of this stuff is kind of punishing newer players that don't have the timing down. Like, now glitch crown, you can't do the pause cheese. I mean, it is kind of cheesy. It's too bad that I find out that Mars worked forever on the Demon Beggars and Blood Dono machines, like, after it got fixed. But overall, this seems like a lot of pretty good changes. You know, Tan Lost is a challenge character, so it makes sense that he should be challenging. But yeah, very interesting patch here. A lot of fixes to a lot of things. Very substantial. I'm glad that they're hard at work because, you know, like I said, this is one of my favorite games. And I think it is one of the best games ever made. So I appreciate your efforts, Tyrone, Edmund, everyone else on the team. Really cool stuff. If you enjoyed this patch note reading, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out. Thanks for watching.